So let's head over to the mat. We'll get some music going here. Find yourself again in that comfortable seat. So we'll sit with our legs crossed. And just try to let your hips start opening up here. Rest your knees down. Let's rest our hands on the knees. You can even just close the eyes and feel that sensation kind of front to back with your hands on your knees. And now let's rest them. We'll find just a few breaths here with the body still. And let's start to cultivate our Ujjayi breath, breathing in and out through the nose. We're setting our shoulders down and back, rooting into our sitting bones. It's where we're connected with our seat and the floor. Sit nice and tall. Picture a line of energy moving up your center line, up your spine, between your ribs. Feel that energy at your heart, right into your neck, into your head space. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Let's open the eyes, bring hands together at the heart, hands at prayer. Again, just a deep breath in and out. And we'll start to add some movement here. Inhale, reach hands high. Exhale, turn your palms out, set them down. Inhale, scoop hands back to the heart, prayer. Exhale, reach fingers towards the floor. Inhale, scoop them overhead. Palms together, exhale, hands prayer at the heart. Inhale, release, palms reach high. Exhale, take a twist to look over your right shoulder. Bring the left hand across to your right knee. Give yourself some gentle encouragement here. Create using that leverage between your hand and your thigh. Deep breath in and out. Inhale, let's come back to center. Exhale, hands to prayer, bring them to your heart. Inhale, release hands, reach them high, and we'll twist across the other way, right hand to left knee. Left hand places down behind you and gaze out over your left shoulder. Sitting tall, deep breath in and out. Inhale, reach, come back through center. Exhale, hands to prayer at the heart. Inhale, release, reaching both hands high. Let's set the right hand down outside of the right hip. Take a gentle side stretch here. Really reach through that top arm so you feel lengthening up the left side of your waist. Reach through that top arm, deep breath in and out. Come back to center. We'll recenter, hands at prayer. Inhale. Exhale, fingertips down towards the mat. Inhale, scoop palms overhead. Exhale, bring the left hand down. Let's take that lean over to the left now. Reaching through this top arm. Gaze is lifted, so we're finding opening here. Turning slightly away from the floor. Last breath in and out here. Inhale, let's come back through center. Exhale, draw the hands together, prayer at the heart. And we'll take 3 breaths here. Now's the time. You could set an intention for this practice if you'd like to, or a mantra, just a short phrase that you can repeat to yourself that serves you, okay? Try to, as thoughts that aren't serving you or that are distracting you come into your mind throughout today's practice, try to just acknowledge them, let them pass, maybe focus back in on your mantra or your intention or even just your breath. Okay, let's release hands down. We're going to come onto our hands and knees now. You can set, if you had a bolster or a prop, you can set that to the side. Hands are under the shoulders and knees are under the hips. So we start out at table. Spread your fingers wide and try to shift some weight away from your wrist. So I'm pushing it towards that space right underneath my fingertips. We'll take a deep breath in, press the belly down and look forward. Exhale, tuck your chin to your chest and lift your spine, let it round. Inhale, gaze forward. Think about reaching forward through your heart. Draw the shoulders back. Exhale, chin to chest, lift the spine. One more time, inhale, press the belly down, gaze forward. Exhale, chin to chest, over exaggerate that curve through your back. And we'll start to sit back. I'm going to have you walk your knees as wide as the mat here. Draw your toes together, but they're untucked. And come into a nice wide child's. We're sinking the hips back towards the heels. You can let your head come right down to the floor, or you could bring them onto your own arms, or a block, or that bolster. Deep breath in, feel your diaphragm expand. And then exhale, squeeze out every last bit of that used air. Again, deep breath in and let it out. Let's look forward, root into your palms here. We'll come back to our table, bringing knees under the hips again. And let's just take one round of bird dog here. We'll reach back through that right leg. Find your stability here. Re-square your hips so they're side by side, trying to reduce any tilting that might be going on. And now if you're feeling able, reach your opposite arm. Your left arm reaches forward. Come back to finding that stability. Re-square your hips. Neutralize your neck. And then carefully set back down. Let's go to the other side. Reach the left leg back. Just finding length there. Re-square those hips again, so we're engaging the belly to do that. If you're feeling good, go ahead, reach that right arm, your opposite arm forward, and re-stabilize. Deep breath in and out, and carefully come back down. So we're going to be kneeling for a little while longer. If this bothers your knees, you could fold over your mat. If you're getting into yoga and that's one thing that kind of ruins it for you, consider having something handy. Maybe you have a thin cushion. You could use, I'm gonna use my improvised equipment again, my couple of towels, and that's what's gonna give me a little extra cushion. So I'll face you guys for this one. You'll wanna be turning so you're facing kind of the long edge of your mat now. Okay, so we're gonna do gate pose. We'll start on the right side. And what we're doing is stepping that right foot out at an angle, and I've got my toes down onto the floor, foot's at about a 45-degree angle, and I start to feel some stretching here through my groin already, okay? We're gonna start reaching hands overhead. Then we're going over towards that extended leg. Bring your right arm down, back to a beautiful side stretch. So we're kind of adding on to where we were earlier when we were seated with this. And just hold it. We're gonna come up, bring this left hand to your hip. We're going for a long line, reaching that right arm overhead now. So a long line from this top fingertip all the way down through my right toes. And this left hand is giving you some support. Keep yourself open and lifted so we're keeping that gaze up. Let's come back up. If you want to increase the stretch, you could slide, do it carefully. Make sure you don't slip. Slide your leg out a little bit wider now, okay? We'll bring this right hand back down to the thigh, and one more time we're gonna reach up and over. So feel that again through this side body and into my groin now on this right side. One more breath here. Carefully come on up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just move to the other side. So let's bring that foot back in. Remember, don't go for that huge stretch on this first round. Okay, be more comfortable in it so you are taking your foot out, but it's not, you know, like a super tense stretch in that groin just yet. Toes are out at a 45-degree angle, feet flat to the floor. Let's slide that left hand down the thigh and reach the right arm overhead. Let's find that side stretch, gentle lean here. Carefully come up. We're going to get that right hand down just on that hip for support. Start taking your left hand overhead, and let's go to that long line from these top fingertips all the way down through the left toes. Stay open, so we're drawing that top shoulder back, rotating that left top hip back. Take one more breath here, bring it in and out. Carefully come up. So now if you want to take it a little further, I'm going to very carefully kind of heel my toe out, foot out a little bit wider, and I already feel that stretching more. So comfortable stretch, don't force it. Start taking your hand down. Here we go. Scoop it up and reach over. You get that side stretch through the right side waist. Inner thigh groin stretch in the left leg this time. Let's hold for one more breath. And carefully come back up. All right, guys, so we are staying down here for now. I'm gonna have you, if you need to, move your cushion around. We're gonna be facing the top of our mat, still kneeling, so here's where we're headed. We're gonna be doing a low lunge, so we're still on those knees. I'm gonna step my left foot forward to start, so right here, okay? And make sure you have some space. So I've got about 90-degree bend in both of my knees before I really move into this. So we're gonna square those hips, hip points facing forward. I want you to come back a little bit. And now really pronounce, press forward through both hips and hold it right there. Okay, so where we'll feel this stretching is gonna be the glute on this side, okay, that forward leg, and then that hip flexor on your right leg. Let's come out of it again just for a second. And now again, press forward through the hips. This is one pose where If your knee passes forward over your toes, that's okay in this posture. Let's bring the hands forward, scoop them up, and slowly take them overhead. Come into a gentle back bend. Gaze lifted, pressing forward through the hips. And if that doesn't feel good, you can keep the arms down. You can always stay right where we started with this. And carefully start bringing your hands down. We're going to sit the hips back, okay? Carefully, we're just switching our front and back leg. So let's take one back. Let's take that right foot forward now, okay? And let yourself get comfortable, okay? Make sure you've given yourself enough space. And we'll kind of hinge back out of this first. Deep breath in. Exhale as we press forward through both hips, and we're holding it here. So now I feel the left side hip flexor here, and then my right glute over on that other side. I'm trying to just draw my shoulders back. We're holding. Let's carefully come out of it. We're going to do that one more time with that option to reach hands this time. Exhale, come forward, press forward through the hip points. Guide your hands forward. Take them up into prayer, gentle back bend. And just holding here. Stay with your breath. Deep breath in and out. Let's carefully bring those hands back down. Okay, guys, so we're staying down on the mat today. You can use your cushion to sit on if that feels better under your sits bones, or you can take it right all the way down to the floor now. So where we're headed, we're gonna do, actually I'll sit on that too. We're taking both legs forward, okay? So we're finding our first seated fold, getting into our hamstrings. So let's take that flesh out from under your sits bones. So the only cushion is whatever's beneath you. We've got the legs reaching forward. We're not completely locking out the knees. Draw back through your toes. And I'm gonna have you start in staff pose. So that's just sitting up nice and tall. You can place your hands outside of your hips here. And I want you to come back to that energy line coming up through your center. Okay, let's picture that energy line starting at your seat where you're connecting with the floor, and then draw it up into your belly, strong and tall. Draw it up through your ribs, center of your chest, into your neck, and then right up into the crown of your head. Just a tall, strong energy line. Deep breath in and out. We'll inhale, reach hands overhead. Exhale, begin to fold forward and be gentle in this first one. Just let your hands lie where they land, okay? So I'm going to keep kind of reaching forward through my heart, but also I'm going to try to maintain some of that length that we just found in the spine. Just shake your head a couple times to release that neck. Shake it out, no. Come back to center and just look up and down, nod your head yes. And let's start sitting up again. Come back to that tall seat. Let's reach hands overhead, deep breath in. Exhale, take it back forward. So this time, I want you to reach for it, okay? Your hands will land, and maybe you'll walk yourself out a little bit further, holding on to ankles or reaching right towards those feet if you're able to. And this time we're going to bring our chin down to the chest. Staying right here. We'll be here for a few rounds of breath. Find your version of this stretch. Deep breath in and let it out. We'll slowly start coming back up. We'll take those hands overhead again and then release them down at sides. Let's take the left foot out. You're going to bring it out towards the left corner of your mat and then bring the right foot in to your groin. So we're going to let that right knee open up, set it down to the floor if you can, but don't feel like you have to force it. And now we're going to turn, sitting tall, turn towards that extended leg, point your toes back, inhale, reach high, exhale, fold over your leg, hands landing on your shin, ankle, or to your foot, and let your head come down. One more deep breath in and out. Let's carefully roll up, reach through the arms. I'm going to have you take a chest stretch here. We'll place the hands behind us. So walk them back and you're going to know where you want to be. Okay, if you're more flexible, you'll want to take those hands more narrow. Okay, if your shoulders are tight and your chest is tight, you're going to need to keep those hands wider, okay? So play around with it. They are back behind you. Find a mild version of a stretch so you feel that here. And now press forward through your heart and just take your gaze up. So not straining through the neck, just lifting your chin, eyes towards the ceiling. Let your shoulders draw back. Deep breath in and out. Let's come up. We're just going to trade our legs here. Take your right leg out towards that right corner. Left foot coming into the groin. Okay. Sit tall. Reach, turn towards your extended leg, and now fold out over it. Deep breath in and out. Slowly roll up. Let's take the hands overhead. Set them down. We'll do that chest stretch again. So we'll start walking the hands back. And you may get back there and realize there's not a lot of stretch. Then you'll just walk your hands not further back, but narrower, closer together. Draw your shoulders back. Think of reaching your heart forward and then lift your chin. Let the shoulders draw back. And we'll carefully release here. So before we lay back, I'm going to have you just take a stretch. We stretch through the front. I want to do the opposite and stretch through the upper back now. So I'm just going to have you sit tall, okay? And you can come back up onto your bolster if that feels better, but make sure you're in a comfortable seat, okay? So we're going to take, I'll guide us into eagle arms, and if that gets too intense, just stay back at the last version, okay? So we'll start by taking the arms out wide, okay? I'm I'm going to have you start to bring the arms across. You're going to take your right arm under your left arm so they meet at the elbows, okay? And now you can stay right here if that feels like enough. That'd be a stretch into your left shoulder backside. If you can take it further, I want you to start bringing your hands together. It could be back of hands together, that works well. Or you could bring your hands around trying to bring palms together. What I'm going to have you do is just sit really tall, draw your elbows down, and then start lifting them up. Okay, and you're going to know your stopping point. You'll feel that get intense through the outside and the back of your left shoulder. Don't try to force beyond that point. We're just going to take another breath or two here. Carefully release. Let's start to unwind. We're going to take palms back, turn your thumbs down, reach back, and come back forward. We're going to go right to the other side now. So let's start bringing the left elbow under the right elbow. Okay, so this can be here, it can be back of hands, or you can try to bring palms together. Start by drawing the elbows down, and then very slowly we start lifting the elbows up, finding your perfect stretch, that edge where you can feel the tension, but it's not painful. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Deep breath in and out. Inhale and exhale. Release your hands. Let's carefully open up. This time, let's reach way out and spread your fingertips. Inhale, take hands overhead. Exhale, float them down to your sides. So we're going to move onto our backs now. We'll be moving into a final relaxation very soon. Make sure that you don't have something lifting you off the floor awkwardly, so you may want to push your prop to the side right now, or you could keep it handy and put it under your knees during Savasana. That's kind of nice, okay? But either way, let's take it back. I'm going to have you hug knees in towards the chest. Give them a gentle hug here. Take a small rock from side to side. Massage your back into the mat. It should feel really nice. Let's place feet down to the floor. Keep your knees bent for now. I'm gonna have you, let's walk walk feet out towards the edges of the mat and bring your knees together. So we're knock-kneed right here. Bring your arms out into a T shape. Let the back of your hands rest on the floor. We're just going to take a fluid hip stretch. Start bringing both knees over towards the right side of the mat just for a second. And then take them back up. We're going to take them down to the left side just for a second over there. Let's go to each side one more time. Bring them up and over to the right. Let's let them rest here this time. You can turn your head to look in the opposite direction. Look over your left hand. Deep breath in. And let it out. Let's come back through the center. Knees come down to the left side. Turn your gaze to look over right shoulder. Deep breath in. And let it out. to center. We'll hug the knees into the chest one more time. Bring them both in. Give them a gentle hug here. You could also take happy baby if you'd like, bringing hands to the outer edges of your feet and gently pulling down if that's in your practice. Deep breath in and out. So we're going to take just a couple minutes here for quiet Savasana rest. If you kept your bolster nearby, you might like trying just a gentle support under your knees. If you have low back issues, that can really help and feel better than laying flat. Find your resting place. We'll turn the back of our hands onto the floor. We'll close our eyes here. And make sure that you've set up so that you can truly relax your body, be nice and heavy. And I want you in this time just to come back to that idea of bringing energy, positive energy into your body. So just envision that energy coming in through your extremities, so your toes and your fingertips. And then it starts working its way towards that center line that we talked about a couple times throughout class today. Picture that energy as recharging, as peaceful, as calm. Now picture that energy with your breath. When you inhale, you're bringing in that positive, maybe like a warm light kind of energy, bringing that in to your body and letting it radiate through your center line and all the way back out through your extremities, fingers and your toes. Deep breath in and out. Full breath in and release it out. Start to bring some small movements back into your body. Maybe wiggling fingers and toes. Let's bend the knees, bringing feet to the floor. If you have a prop, you can push that to the side. Let's reach the arms overhead and carefully roll on to one side. Just resting here for a moment. Make your way up through a comfortable seat. You can come back onto your bolster if that's where you feel the best. We're just going to take a few breaths here together. Let's rest in the back of our wrists, hands on the knees now. With eyes closed, inhale. Open your mouth and fully exhale. Deep breath in. Energy comes into your center. Open the mouth, exhale. We'll open the eyes here. One more time together. Deep breath in and out. Bring hands to prayer. Thank you for sharing today's practice with me. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.